Good morning. This is Howard Cohen with Travel Bum Diaries, and the green is the new gold. We have a great website, and we're continuing our series on sustainable living. And I'm here this morning in Monterey, California, with my friend. Can I call you my friend?
Absolutely.
Dominic Mercurio, who is the owner, and are you the chef also?
I'm the jack of all trades in the restaurant business. Yes, you do have chefs. You have managers, assistant managers, bar managers. But I'm a true independent restaurant owner. I do everything. I do have a guy who runs the kitchen. He is the chef, but I do have a lot of control of the food that comes in and out of the kitchen, and I give the chef a percentage of the menu, and I take care of the rest. And because of that, the items that I grow out of my garden and the experience, I've been on the Wharf 33 years, but I've been doing this. 56 years old, and I've been doing this since about 14 years old. And
Wow.
I own my own restaurant since I was 21.
Wow, that's great. Yeah, I was just about to ask you how long the restaurant's been here, and of course everybody's familiar. This is Cafe Fina on the Fisherman's Wharf, very famous place here in Monterey, California, up in Central California, right on the coast. And I'm going to put some video so they can see the gorgeous view that we have here. And
Spoiled.
It's amazing. Yeah, we're in the middle of November, and the weather is just phenomenal right now outside, and great place to vacation. People come here from all parts of the world just to see this place right here. And
Cafe Fina is going on 26 years this year. And imagine working in a place that you're not tired of. You know, you love coming to work. The view's different every day, you know, and I think that's what helps keep you down and keep your mind straight. Is when you look at the view that we have here, you never get tired of it. I mean, Cafe Fina's going on 26 years. My other restaurant across the street, which is Domenico's, is going on 33 years, and it's just a special place to come. You know, not too many people, they say, after 25 years still love going to work.
That's true.
There are
That's true.
challenges. It's harder to do business these days, but you know, I still love it.
yeah, now I've chosen to make this my home the last couple of years as well, and you know, I've lived in a lot of places in California especially, and it's definitely one of the greatest spots around. I mean, you can walk out here, you can see there's sea lions and otters, sea otters, right in the water out here.
What's going on right
Yeah,
now.
I'm gonna shoot some video.
Yeah,
We'll
the
put
seagulls
some.
are circling, the sea lions are on the other side, but
Yeah,
getting
I
back-
could show it right there. We can kind of get an idea of what's going on right outside the window here. And it's beautiful. There's the bike path right there where people take a nice little run, and it's just great. I mean, we can't ask for anything better here in California. And this is like I said, the weather is just phenomenal right now. So,
But speaking of local, I was born 2 blocks up the street.
is that right?
Yeah, I mean that's as local.
So
as
you've been
you're
here
gonna
your whole life.
I used to run underneath this wharf faster than I could on top. That was our playground. Was fishing during the day, and you know, we all had to be home by dark, and that's where we spent our summers. It was the best place in the world.
All right. So as as we're talking here, I want to make sure everybody realizes. I mean, you're not going to find better fish pretty much anywhere in the world than you are right here. The fish is caught directly out right in the ocean, right where we're at. It's brought in here fresh to the restaurant, right? And of all the restaurants, fish places and otherwise in Monterey, which there are quite a few in Monterey and
A lot of
Carmel,
great restaurants.
I will say that your restaurant is probably one of my very, very favorites, and
Thank
for
you.
a lot of reasons. You're welcome. It's both for the atmosphere and also the food. So, and believe me, I'm not easy guy to please, okay, when it comes to both of those things. So I would highly recommend everybody who wants to come down and travel down to the coast here, which is a must. If you come to California, you got to come down here, to come here and grab a meal and even some lunch, dinner, whatever. So now let's talk for a minute, because we're doing a series on sustainable living, and I wanted to talk about you have a farm. Is that right?
Well, I actually have 700 acres, so yes, it's a farm. I grow almonds primarily. That's what we do. Is we have a couple partners, and I stepped into this with one of the partners about 22 years ago. There's a 25-acre piece that was for sale, and I love to hunt and fish. That's sort of my hobby. When I'm not here, I disconnect. Anyway, I bought this property because I thought maybe I could hunt a little bit on it or whatever, and I thought it was a pretty good deal. Anyway, one thing led to another. Now we have 720 acres of farmland, and I keep one section of about 7 acres that I grow for fun. It started out fun. It was just, my partner and I, we love cherries, and so I put in a block of cherries. We have 130 cherry trees for us personally. We don't sell them. I love plums and pluots. We put in plums and pluots. I put in fuyu persimmons, fig trees. We have some fig trees we're doing a fig pizza with now. But anyway,
That sounds good.
The plot started out sort of small. My father was a green thumb. He taught us a lot in the garden. He was the best. He was a master in his backyard. So I put a little strip. I put a garden. I thought it was small, 50 by 50 feet. That's small when you have it sitting on 9 acres. It's just a little thing. Anyway, I said, I'm going to try some tomatoes. I'm going to try some zucchini. I'm going to try some eggplant. I want to do peppers. I did watermelons because I love watermelons, so I grew my own watermelons.
It's amazing how much stuff you can get in a 7-acre plot,
Well,
right?
no, I believe me, 7 acres is way too much. So I right now the garden is 60 feet by 150. That's huge. That's enough to supply 2 restaurants full tilt.
Is that right?
All of summer. Yes.
Wow.
The garden's over. We're in November now. The garden's finished. But I started very early this year. We're in drought conditions, so the weather's been favorable for that. But it's been a very difficult year farming in the central.
Yeah. The drought has really been hit the whole country hard. But I mean, around here, especially in the West Coast, it's been really bad up here, right? And this is known as the salad bowl of America in this part of town. Salinas is just up the road, about 15 miles from here, and we have nothing but croplands all around us. We're having some issues with the water right now. It's been very difficult.
Even just thinking about it just gives me a headache because we got through this year, but if we don't get rain this year, if we're upset about paying for imported oil, wait till you got to buy a tomato that's imported.
Yeah, exactly.
And then who knows where it comes from? Who knows what they're using in it? I mean, here we have strict regulations, and everything that I do in my garden is my next door neighbor's a champion. He's a certified organic grower, and he's taught me everything. I use organic chicken manure and all the fertilizers I use. He's taught me. I'm just lucky to have a guy like that. Every once in a while you'll get bugs that'll come in there, mostly aphids and things like that. He's taught me to use the soapy water and some other things, but I've been lucky. I have a guy. So my garden is truly organic. I can't get it certified because it's close to the almonds, but I don't really want to. I know what's in it. I know when you eat my tomatoes, I pick them right. You go to, I don't care where you go to any of the major stores, they have heirloom tomatoes. They're pretty, they're colored, they're this, but you can't pick ripe tomatoes. I don't care where you're at.
Right.
You cannot pick ripe tomatoes because they don't last. They're going to last at the most 4 days, ripe tomatoes.
Right.
And tomatoes you don't put in the refrigerator, changes the taste. You have to keep them at room temperature.
If anybody's had a organic or freshly picked homegrown tomato, it's just phenomenal. I mean, the taste is literally almost nothing like what you would buy in just a supermarket or something like that. It's so much better. And it's you could just eat it like
oh no,
an
we
apple,
do. That's what I do. I make tomato sandwiches every other day during tomato season with just salt and pepper, and maybe a little bit of mayonnaise or olive oil. Just depends. But with the tomatoes, and if we do get the overripes, when they start to get ripe, we just chop them up and throw them in the sauce. Make pizza sauce or spaghetti. There's not one loss. But you can't do that in a normal restaurant where you're not growing them, or a grocery store. So I pick them. I pick the tomatoes ripe, and I drive to the ranch 2 days a week, go back and forth. So we always got, I grow about 16 different varieties of tomatoes, 5 or 6 different kinds of zucchini. Eggplant, I grow Italian sweet peppers, and I grow Patron peppers, which are getting very, very popular right now. It's a little pepper the size of the end of your thumb, and we just serve them as a little appetizer. You just saute them with a little bit of olive oil. You just let them soften up, and then sprinkle them with sea salt. what a great, you can't stop eating them. You don't know what it is. You just can't stop
You become
eating them.
addicted to that stuff. I know how it
it's
is.
terrible.
Like
I mean,
it's because I do a lot of juicing as well,
Yeah.
and it's just at first it's like your palate has to get a little bit used to doing, like, for instance, juicing or something like that.
Right.
But then after like a couple of days, you can't get enough. You're like, oh, I need more of it. I need more of it, and that's probably the same with the organic and homegrown local vegetables and things like that.
I can't eat tomatoes any other time of the year. I mean, it's just really difficult. I mean, unless it's a BLT or something that requires a tomato, but to just say, oh, I'm going to go make a tomato salad in January or February, it's not happening.
Right.
It's just not happening. And I'm spoiled. We're very, very spoiled where we live. Having Salinas Valley with some of the top growers in the world.
Right.
Here, and then with my connections in the Central Valley, I eat the best cantaloupes. The best cantaloupes, I pick them. They say go in the field and get what you want. And they showed me how to pick, which is called full slip. So when you look at at the end of the cantaloupe where the stem's connected, if there's any stem left on it whatsoever, it means it was not picked at full sugar. So full slip cantaloupe, you know you're going to get candy.
Nice.
And
That's
how to
good
pick
know. Good
watermelons.
tips.
Watermelons. How do you know to pick watermelon? You're going to thump in this, that. On the stem of a watermelon, right where the joint connects, there's a little pigtail-looking vine.
Uh-huh.
And as it's growing, it stays green. When the watermelon has reached maximum sweetness, that little pigtail starts to dry up. And when it hits that joint and it's dry, the watermelon's ripe.
Nice.
I can't do the thump thing. I never figured out.
That's great to know. It's so. Before we end off here, I just I want to because people can reach. They can find the videos on my YouTube channel. They can link up to your website, find the restaurant at greenisthenewgold.net. You can go to realestatecookies.com and find it. And we're going to be doing this whole series, and are doing it, as a matter of fact, on the sustainable living, buying local. And the last thing I want to ask you about is, if you were to give some tips to people, like for instance, we're talking about water usage, cleaning products, pesticides, growing. Is there any quick tips you might be able to throw out at people that would help them out if they want to get involved in this kind of a thing, like maybe grow some vegetables on their own, or do some, I don't know, do some farming, organic farming, that kind of thing?
I mean, there's so many outlets now for organic. I mean, water's going to be a big deal. Drip is the way to go. We have everything on drip, so we don't waste a drop of water. It's good and it's bad. What happens with that quickly, by not using a lot of water, the salts tend to stay on the top of the soil, which can bring down the yields of your product. But we pray for rain. That's what rain's for, is to wash those salts down. So you do have to be careful a little bit with drip. But I was doing this sustainable thing. I did it. It was therapy to me to go out to my ranch, t-shirt, jeans, hat, maybe a cigar, and just sort of do everything myself. It was just
fantastic.
And then I started bringing my crew. If you go to cafefina.com, you can see the video. I bring my crew out to the garden, let them get dirty.
Right. Yeah, you got to get down and dirty, and that's really, in order to really get the full feeling of what it's like to really partake in this. It's more than just words. It's more than just talking. You have to actually go out there, experience it, and like I said, taste it, and that's really what it's all about.
And I fished commercially for 19 summers in a row. I fished in Alaska with my father. So having the connection with the fish and the fishermen, we have the best of both worlds. It's pretty hard to try to slip something by me that's inferior, and we know it. You can't bring us a piece of fish that's old. It's going to go right back. It's out of here.
Yeah, well, like I said, I mean, when you've got all the best fish in the world right out here in the ocean outside here, why go with anything less, right? And that's what's kept your restaurant around for that long, is that people keep coming back, and the reputation is so good to be able to have the best food around. And believe me, you got some good food. I will tell you. Like I said, I'm hard guy to please, and I love it here. So.
Good.
So, all right. Hey, Dominic, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. And if you guys want to find out more about Cafe Fina, of course, go to the website.
Cafefina.com.
Cafefina.com. You can check it out and link through our website, greenisthenewgold.net, for some other videos on sustainable living and organic restaurant links. And this is Howard Cohen for Travel Bums, signing off. We'll see you later. All right.